Hey everyone, it's your girl Fada Care for the Flow Journal. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a minute, but today's video we are diving into episode 2 of season 3 of Bel-Air. Heads up guys, there is going to be spoilers ahead when it comes to this review. So if you haven't watched this episode yet, pause this video, go and watch it, then press play on this video and we will get into this episode because a lot happened in this episode and I want to share my thoughts. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more TV show reviews, recommendations from your girl Fada Care. This is the place to be. Now I know that season 3 has been out for a minute. In fact, it was out last year. I binge watched it last year, but I thought it would be great to break down each episode, especially now that we've got some good news, guys. Bel-Air has been renewed for season 4. This is going to be the final season, the last final season of Bel-Air. I know. The good thing is that I feel like this season 4 will be an opportunity to wrap things up when it comes to the whole storyline of Bel-Air and the different characters, and especially if you have watched season 3 of Bel-Air, the season finale, there was a lot of cliffhangers. So hopefully season 4 will be able to wrap those things up and it'll be done well, hopefully, because sometimes when it's the last season they rush storylines, but I'm hoping that it will be a good season, and I will be reviewing season 4. Let's jump right into the review of episode 2. The episode kicks off with our favorite duo, Will and Carlton, as they brainstorm ideas for their startup. If you remember from episode 1 of season 3 of Bel-Air, they both got into Quentin's Young, Gifted and Black program, but they are struggling to come up with ideas. Most of the ideas that they're coming up with already exist, but like existing business ideas. We have 48 hours to come up with a business plan / pitch to share with Quentin. So they are on a time crunch when it comes to this. Get some tough love from Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil, who suggest that Will should work longer shifts at the country club and that Carlton should join him. Now, this is really different for Carlton. He just came back from rehab and everything, but also he has lived a privileged life. His family is rich. He's never had to work on his life, essentially. And now his parents are telling him, yeah, I think it'll be good for your, recovery and everything to have a job, to have a sense of routine. He's not really a fan about this. And also the fact that it's going to be at the country club, a place that he would usually just go to, as a customer, not an employee. And, some of his old friends from his school are going to be there. So there's a sense of like, oof, extra pressure. I feel like him working at the country club will be a good thing for him. Moving on to Aunt Viv, there's a potential drama brewing. With a new job as an art program director, her plate is full, and it feels like Uncle Phil isn't giving her the support that she needs. When Uncle Phil was doing his thing in terms of being a lawyer, now he has his own firm, she has been supporting him. She has been there for him, and she's had to put her dreams and hopes to the side when it came to like raising her kids. And now it's her opportunity to put herself first. She gets to put herself first. I gotta put me first, Lucy. And become this art director. But Uncle Phil doesn't really he's not giving the same support that she gave. And he asks her to plan his welcoming party for his law firm. And it's very last minute. Aunt Viv is annoyed by this. There's definitely tension between these two that needs to be addressed. And speaking of this, Aunt Viv might have a new love interest. In season 2 or season 1 of Bel-Air, she had a love interest. He was a potential love interest, but Uncle Phil cut that immediately. He said, nah, we ain't having that. He was being overprotective. And I feel like he's going to be overprotective again when he finds out about this new love interest that Aunt Viv has in the season. Aunt Viv's new assistant got her in touch with this guy called Shareef, who's her new love interest. He's a chef who ran a pop-up food store that served traditional African American meals, and he's within her budget in terms of catering for Uncle Phil's launch party for his law firm. And the thing is, guys, Shareef is a good-looking man, and he began to flirt with Aunt Viv, and Aunt Viv, she didn't seem fazed by that. She didn't seem like she was annoyed by it. She was, in fact, she was eating it up. She was enjoying this attention that she was getting from Shareef. Uncle Phil better step up and, show his woman the attention and the love that she deserves. Okay? Now let's switch things up with another part that happened in this episode. We've got Jazz. He is in a financial pickle with his record store that he got from his uncle. He received a notice about tax that wasn't paid, which could lead to his record store being closed down forever. Will hears about this and he's trying to help, and he suggests that he talks to Uncle Phil about it, but Jazz is a little bit kind of like stubborn when it comes to asking for help. And we see later on in the episode, Uncle Phil does have a chat with him and says, I'm happy to help. And we can see that Jazz is still a bit hesitant. Really do hope that he is able to save his record store, because that's all he has. He doesn't have a plan B. This is his plan A. It has to work. Can we address the very unexpected, guys, kiss between Jazz and Hilary? Talk about tension. 1 minute they're arguing and the next they're kissing. They meet up at Uncle Phil's law firm launch party. There's still tension between them because the first episode of season 3 of Bel-Air, they were arguing and everything because obviously they'd broken up, and Hilary had announced that, she's getting married to one of her Lamarcus. And so there's been tension between Hilary and Jazz, and now they're kissing. But Hilary pushes Jazz to back up everything. She's like, "What are you doing? I'm engaged. This can't happen." But you can definitely see that there are unresolved feelings. Girl, who are you trying to fool? We know that your heart is still with Jazz. We get that you're with Lamarcus, but your heart is still with Jazz. And to be honest, I am still team Jazz and Hilary. Don't get me wrong, Lamarcus is a great guy, but we know that Hilary's heart is with Jazz. They just need to grow up, be mature, and figure things out. Let's get back to Will and Carlton. After some struggles at the country club, they finally hit up a fantastic business idea. They decide that to develop a merchandise based on their life experiences so far. They want to create a platform where they can share their life experience. So, we've got Carlton will tackle his rehab journey and mental health, while will talk about his transition from West Philly to Bel-Air, and the profit from the merchandise would help them develop books and podcasts to discuss their life story. Next up, let's talk about Carlton and Amaria. What a complicated relationship. After all that drama from last episode, I felt for both of them. After Carlton's not so much smooth attempts to connect, he crashes her support group. But his genuine apology earns him some major points and showed some real growth in his character. They decided, despite advice from Aunt Viv, for them not to be in a relationship so they could focus on their rehab journey and recovery. They decide to go against this. I'm not sure about their relationship. Amaria and Carlton's bond is intense, and I'm curious to see where this will lead. Can they really help each other, or without falling back to their old patterns, or are they just bonding over trauma in a way? Next up, let's talk about if you guys remember, in I think season 1 or season 2 of Bel-Air, Uncle Phil and his ex back from university, like back in college days, Erica, they kissed because they both are lawyers. They both worked at a law firm together before Uncle Phil had his own law firm. Uncle Phil decides that, hey, let's just keep it between us. We don't need to say anything. Been told Jeffrey, and Jeffrey was like, you better tell Aunt Viv, like, it's better to tell for you to say it to her, like, don't leave it. But he's like, oh no, it's fine, it wasn't a big deal, like, you know. So during his launch party, Erica attended and she's feeling guilty about the kiss, even though Uncle Phil said that they should keep it a secret. And she was being weird around Aunt Viv. And when Aunt Viv kind of like was looking at all of this, she's like, what is going on with Erica? She's acting funny. And Uncle Phil brushed it off. I was like, why didn't he take the opportunity to just come clean and tell Aunt Viv about the kiss? Like, it's going to be, I feel like when you hold on to certain things, like, it's going to be worse. But anywho, Jeffrey also introduces his son Frederick to the Banks family during this episode, and including Will and Carlton. But later on, Will overhears Frederick on the phone saying that his father doesn't know that he's up to something. Jeffrey's past that he left in London in being part of a gang, which led to him leaving his partner and his son, might come to bite him. And who knows what this might mean for him trying to rebuild a relationship with his son. Are his former gang members trying to use his son against him? Will wants to tell Jeffrey and Uncle Phil about this, but is it, guys, I want to know, like, do you think it's Will's place to talk about Jeffrey's son, you know, or have like concerns about him? Go back into this episode. So Jeffrey later on in this episode spoke to his son about his past life in London and being part of a gang, and I know that Jeffrey wants to build that trust with his son by sharing everything with him, but I don't know whether he should trust Frederick just yet. Jeffrey said he left the gang when Frederick was born and his boss wasn't too happy about that, so Jeffrey ran away to the USA, leaving his son and Frederick's mom. But someone took a photo of Jeffrey and Frederick when they first met during the last season of Bel-Air, and he thinks that people are out to get him, and Frederick and his mom could be in danger. So if Jeffrey's former gang members come to the USA, this could also put the Banks family in danger. Yes, it's a bit of a sticky situation, you know. Another shocking moment at the end of this episode was that Jackie, Will's ex, is now working at the same country club that Will and Carlton are working. Aunt Viv had put in good word for Jackie to work at the country club. Talk about messy, especially with Will now being back on good terms with Lisa. You know, they're back together, they're in a relationship. Will seemed a bit too happy seeing his ex Jackie. There's definitely some unfinished business between these two. Overall, this episode of Bel-Air was packed with character growth, personal challenges, and rich storytelling. I loved how every character had their own moment to shine. So what do you guys think about this episode? Did you enjoy this episode? What was your favourite moment from episode 2 of Bel-Air season 3? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more TV series and film reviews by your girl Fadik Hair for the Flow Journal, and I'll catch you up next time.